Welcome back to the final day of lifting here in Tartu, Estonia for the IPF 2019 World University Powerlifting Cup. And the Giants are going to hit the platform in about 15 seconds. We've got the 120 and the 120 pluses, and this is going to be a super tough session for these guys. There are only 9 lifters in this session. The turnaround is going to be quick, and it is warming up here in Tartu, Estonia. So these guys are going to have a really tough time. They're going to have to really work on their energy reserves, really think about pacing themselves, and really look at how they're going to manage the day.
We don't know the rack height.
So we have got the 120 and the 120 pluses in the same flight. There's 3 120 pluses, and we've got 6 120s, and these guys can shift some serious weight. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors, Alico. Continually raise the bar, and we talk about Alico all the time, not because they're a sponsor, but we talk about it because it is the greatest equipment. It's the equipment that we all use. Uplift, bringing quality coaches and athletes from around the world together, and SBD, another one of those products that we all use because they are the absolute greatest. So 205 goes on the bar for Alexander Nadeshkin for his opening lift. Probably the most casual walkout I've ever seen from a 120 lifter. So we start with Alexander Nadeshkin, the 120 pluses. And a very nice opening squat. And gives a bit of a head shake. Just looks like he's not feeling well. Looks like he might be carrying a little bit of an injury. So we go to 215 now. We're back into the 120s. Jack Posh. So opening on a personal best. These guys are going to have to really manage their fluids out the back. It's warm on the platform, and it's even warmer in the warm-up room. Very smooth. And has no problem getting that one on the board. So Pavel taken off. Looking for 230, representing Siberian State University of Science and Technology. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you go to the bottom right-hand corner, you can click on the link there to open the scoreboard in the second screen. So a good 15 kilos under his personal best. And gets very good depth.
Next up, 250 kilograms stays on the bar for Daniel Ordan from Lucian Blaga University of Sydney.
And Daniel Ordan, 230 kilograms. Lucian Blaga University. Back in the 120 pluses, weighed in at 142.76. And it gets very good depth.
It's a good lift.
On the other side there that we can't see, the referee said he might have been a little bit high, but this side looked very good. Jack Dunkley now 235, back in the 120s. University of Nottingham. Good control. It's a nice little bounce at the bottom.
Looks good. It is a good lift.
And gets the 3 white lights.
I think Taylor is from University of Maribor following O'Leary and Rezepo.
So Matisse Ren, 2:42.5 for University of Maribor. 10 kilos shy of his personal best. So if you got to the breakfast buffet this morning in the hotel a little bit late, this explains why there was nothing left.
What?
And plenty of speed. Got a little bit awkward there through midway through, but plenty of speed to recover. Dan O'Leary now 2:45. University of Exeter.
Bar is loaded.
Giving himself plenty of room to move. A personal best of 260.
What?
Very, very controlled.
Looked easy. It is a good lift.
Very good technique.
Bar is loaded.
Igor Arasapov. 275. Back in the 120 pluses. And he is every bit of a 120 plus. Weighs in at 153.09 this morning. Just 10 kilos shy of his personal best. Has to work pretty hard for an opener. Let's have a look at depth. Gets it on the board. I'd be afraid to give him a red light in case he ate me. Jacobus Stasilis, 280. Nicholas Ramirez University.
What?
Depth looks good from here. And the referees say it's a good lift. So not a lot of rest time for these guys. We move straight into their second lift now. Alexandra Nadeshkin, 215. Representing Siberian State University of Science and Technology. And he just looks a little tender. And didn't look 100% after his first lift. There's plenty of experience in the coaching staff, and they'll know where to go. And yeah, just moving very slowly. And you can see, and he's walking off. Everything's just not feeling right. Jack Tosh, 227.5. This is a very big personal best. and moves that really fast. 19 years of age and shifting around that sort of weight already. This kid has got a huge future. Pavel second off, 240. Just sitting shy of his personal best of 245.
Squat.
And for a big man, he sinks it very well. And gets the 3 white lights. Daniel Oldian now 245, so we're back into the 120 pluses. In the 120 pluses, Rezipov on predicted outcomes well out in front. So these guys just need to do their jobs and wait for opportunities. And it looks like he gets plenty of depth. And he does. And for a big guy to get that sort of depth is very, very impressive. And Nadeshkin has scratched his 3rd squat. And looks like he's carrying a bit of an injury. Let's hope it doesn't affect his bench or his dead too much. Jack Dunkley looking for 250, just shy of his personal best at 252.5. Representing the University of Nottingham.
Squat.
And he handles that one very well, making it all look very easy. So Matisse Heron, 255. Looking for a 2.5 kilo personal best. Weighs in at 116.04. And clearly only had 12 eggs for breakfast this morning.
Squat.
And just not getting deep enough. You should be able to see in the replay. Yeah, just pulling up a little bit short there. Just needs to drop it another 1.5 centimetres. Dan O'Leary, University of Exeter, 257.5, just below his personal best of 260.
Squat.
And he handles the weight well. What do the refs say about depth, though? He just gets in there. And 3 white lights. Jacobus Dasilis, 290 for a 10 kilo personal best. One of the heavier lifters in this weight class, weighed in at 117.94.
Squat.
And very smooth lift,
Looks good.
and it's a
this
good
is
lift.
Same weight, 290
Very
kilograms.
well controlled.
Gregor Rezepov from Moldovan State Pedagogical
And
Institute.
Resipov, 290 kilograms. It'll be a 5 kilo personal best. And his main focus is going to be trying to be a little bit conservative on opening lifts to make sure he secures that total. But he's got his open on the board, so now he can play.
Squat.
Puts in the work. Big laugh at the top there. He's pretty confident.
It is a good day.
And he gets the 2 white lights. He's starting to get fired up just a little bit now.
235 kilograms.
So we move straight into their third list. These guys are getting no time to rest. Jack Tosh, 235. This will be a very big personal best.
It's an attempt for a new personal best.
You can hear the crowd yelling out, "Come on, Jack, all day." I don't think he wants to squat all day. But he handled that one like an absolute champion.
And it's a good lift and a new personal best.
And he gets the white lights. 19 years of age and lifting these sorts of weights, absolutely outstanding. Pavel Tikhonov, 250.
Bars loaded.
So we'll add 5 kilos to his personal best.
It's an attempt for a new personal best.
And I've got to take my hat off to all these young men in this weight class. They've really managed to control their hype in this opening round of squats. Quite often in the squats, when you're in the 120s and 120 pluses, it gets very fast and very exciting. But the athletes have calmed themselves down well, and it's paying off. And he gets that one on the board as well.
Next up, 252.5 kilograms buffalo. Daniel Ordan from Luxembourg University of Sibiu, following Brennan Dunkley.
Daniel Ordan, 252.5.
Squat.
It's a nice bounce at the bottom.
And it's a good lift.
And he gets the 3 white lights. He has got great depth for a big man. One of the harder things for some of the bigger weight classes is being able to convince the referees you've gotten deep enough, but he has no problem with depth at all. Matisse head on 255. This will add 2.5 kilos to his personal best. And these guys doing a fantastic job of controlling their aggression and emotion. When you've got weights this size, it's very easy to get hyped up, very easy to get really aggressive early on. And that looks pretty good from here, and it is.
Jack Dunkley from University of Nottingham, 260 kilograms above, following O'Leary and Strasiulis.
Jack Dunkley, 260 kilos for a 7.5 kilo personal best.
And then for a new personal best.
Taking his time, getting that bar dug in tight. You want it in the exact position. When you're talking about these sorts of weights in your absolute 1RMs, a couple of mil out of position can affect your whole lift. And just couldn't quite get that chest up high enough. Got good bounce out of the bottom. And have a look at the replay. He hits the bottom well, gets a nice bounce, but it just pushes him forward a little. Yeah, the hips come up a little bit too fast. Pushes him over, and at that weight, he's just unable to straighten back up again. Dan O'Leary, 265 for a 5 kilo personal best.
Squat.
And it should be good. It's going to be very close on depth. He gets the two whites on this side just a little high. So the angle we'll see is the side that got pulled up for being a little high. But he gets two white lights, and that is all you need. So we load the bar to 300 kilos now. So Jacobus Starcelis. This is 20 kilos over his personal best. And well over double body weight.
Squat.
Gets a good bounce to the bottom there and was confident well before he even came out of the hole. And for a personal best of 300 kilos, it certainly didn't look overly challenging. Igor Aresipov, 300 kilograms. This will be a 15 kilo personal best for this big man. So just a smidge under double body weight, weighed in at 153. So his 290 was good, was a little bit of work. This one he's going to have to dig deep. And he does just that. And the referee says it's a good lift. He gets it on the board. He is certainly a force to be reckoned with at this competition. And that is how fast it's moving. We have got a 20-minute break now, and then we come back to these guys on the bench press, and these guys are going to be really starting to sweat out the back and really having to work hard. So don't go away. In 20 minutes' time, these giants will be back on the platform for the bench press. Welcome back to a very warm day here in Tartu, Estonia for the IPF 2019 World University Powerlifting Cup. And of course I'm joined by Britain's very own Dan the Man Clark. Lifted yesterday in the 93s, had a fantastic performance, and right back here with us again. How are you feeling today?
A little bit ropey, not going to lie. Went out and celebrated a good performance last night, but I'm feeling it.
It is such a British term, a little bit ropey. Jack Tosh first on the bench at 135. Opening 5 kilos above his personal best. But weighing in at 109, so not one of the big 120 pluses, still growing into it. And he's just 19 years of age and has already had a fantastic performance on squats.
Such a quick turnaround for these boys today. It was really, there's only 9 of them in total, and you know, with one flight, 20 minutes rest between lifts.
Yeah, look, I must admit they did a very good job for this weight class and this age group of keeping their their levels of intensity down during the squats. Quite often in this weight class it just gets out of control, and he gets that one on the board very easily. Yeah, quite often in this weight class, you know, they come out with the squats and the intensity is at, you know, an all-time high, and it drains them, but they actually controlled themselves very, very well.
No, everyone picked their attempts well, and yeah, looking like they've got a bit of gas in the tank for bench now.
Pavel taken off 152.5. Always interested to watch the setups for these weight classes.
Yeah, the big guys tend not to arch as much.
You get a lovely light touch there.
Yeah, that was very nice. We see some of the bigger guys tend to sink it into their chest a little bit just because they have sort of the mass and size to get away with it.
That. Daniel Audion, 157.5. And we've got one of your very own from University of Exeter in this group as well.
Yep, Dan O'Leary, also known as Dongolo Longle, good friend of ours. He is looking really strong. Those 3 squats absolutely flew for him, and I think he's in for a big day today.
Right now, Daniel Audion just under his personal best of 150 at 160, so he's lifting 157.5. And made that look very, very easy. And, you know, for such a big guy, he's actually quite mobile. You look at that arch.
Yep, that is solid for someone weighing around 112 kilos. Yeah.
142.
Ah, sorry.
So he's very mobile.
Yes, that's quite impressive.
So here he is, Dan O'Leary, looking for 162.5. And his opening lift looked fantastic.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see.
We'd like to see him push back a little bit more, but at that weight, he clearly didn't need to.
No.
And Jack Dunkley now, 165, University of Nottingham. Disappointingly, there's no one from the University of Loughborough.
Yeah, I
I've worked so hard on it too.
You've got that one done now. You can forget about that until next year.
I'll be looking for an invitation from the University of Loughborough to come and visit. So Jack Dunkley, 165, well under his personal best. And he looked very solid on the squats as well. And very smooth opening lift.
Nice easy opener.
Gregor Rosetta from Ordnance State Pedagogical Institute.
There is not a lot of turnaround time.
And
We're getting through this first round of bench very quickly.
Yep, it is moving really quick. I mean, for the lads, you know, there's 9 people in the flight. They really haven't got a long time to rest in between lifts.
And Resipov, the giant, 165. And he has set the absolute benchmark here today in the 120 pluses.
Start. Press.
And he made that look extremely easy.
Yep, really quick.
it's a good day.
And you can see he's settled down his intensity a little bit. He was bringing the intensity for the squats.
Yeah.
He's settled that down a little bit now and just finding his groove very nicely.
Yeah, some people will get more hyped up for one lift. You know, if it's a lift they're particularly good at, or if they need that bit of intensity, sometimes that works for one lift and not another.
And Matisse Ren, 167.5. One 67.5.
Start. Press.
And
Really
boy, these
easy.
opening benches are moving very quick. All of them very smooth. And great job there. You see him just having a chat with the spotter there. Just explaining again how he wants his lift off.
Yep.
And thanking him for it as well.
That's
it's
important to do.
Yeah, I think it's a really important part of it, the acknowledgement. I mean, they do such a good job out there.
Yeah.
They go along unnoticed. I mean, you hardly even notice they're there. Alexandra Nadeshkin, 180 kilograms. Weighed in at 145.5 today.
Press. Rack.
It's a very easy bench press.
Yeah, moved that very quickly, very smoothly. And it's really good to see because his squats looked like he was carrying a bit of an injury.
Yeah.
Hit his opener at 205. He was very, very tender. Missed his second, then scratched his third. And it doesn't look like it's affected his bench at all, which is really good. Stasilis looking for 195. So he's another one of these big guys that's actually quite mobile. So he's one of the heavier, I think he's the heaviest 120 today at 117.9.
Start. Press. Rack.
Interested, he's changed his singlet from squat to bench.
Yeah, probably just looking at one that grabs a little bit better.
Yeah.
You see it occasionally, people will have a different singlet for the different lifts.
Yeah.
And depending on something that grabs into the bench a little bit better. Some of the singlets are a little bit more slippery. I know the Titan singlets can sometimes be quite slippery on the bench. So Jack Tosh looking for 142.5. Just 19 years of age. And this will be a 12.5 kilo personal best.
Start. Press. Rack.
And that was very good
Very
workload for a
solid.
second lift. You can see the extra little bit of work there, but still something in the tank and still room to move for his third.
Yeah, it brings that chest up to the bar really well there.
Yeah, for heavyweight lifters, these guys are very, very mobile.
Yep.
Pavel Tikhanov, 162.5. Gets that bar steadied very quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit of work, but probably what you would have expected for a second lift.
Yeah, still, and there's still, you know, a little bit of room to move for his third lift.
Yeah.
There's nothing more deflating, I think, as a lifter too, when you open on a bit too high and you just got no room to move for your second and third.
Yep.
Daniel Aldian, 165. And this guy's probably one of the most flexible super heavy weights I've seen.
Yeah, it's quite impressive actually.
He demonstrated that mobility on his squat as well. And he demonstrates a great arch, really able to get his chest up. And
Very
just put
solid.
the rack on the way up there, which is not a problem as long as it doesn't provide assistance.
Yep.
It's not an issue. And he'll just shift himself a little bit on the next one. Dan O'Leary, 170.
Fun fact about Dan, he was actually born in a submarine. He loves to tell everyone that.
I just don't know where to go with that.
No, I didn't the first time I was told, to be honest.
Start. Press. Rack.
Well, they've certainly let him out of the submarine for this one. And he's looking very good.
Yeah, touched that a bit softer on his chest, got it back a lot nicer on that one.
Yeah, much better angle. So, Jack Dunkley. And I think we might have the wrong name on the screen. And now we've got the right name on the screen. So we're restarting the clock.
Yeah, because of the wrong name.
So looking at 175.
Hopefully that won't affect him.
No, I don't think so. He's been very mature throughout his squats. He's managing his intensity levels extremely well.
Yeah.
And, you know, this entire week we've seen a lot of maturity from a lot of young lifters.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's people on the sort of university powerlifting scene, you know, a lot of us take it very, very seriously, and it's become a real big sport within a lot of universities, and you know, there's some real quality lifters coming through the ranks.
And it's getting bigger because we've got 70 universities here.
Yeah, it's
from
huge.
around the world, so it's
many
getting bigger
different
and
countries.
bigger. So 175 for Matisse Heren. This will be a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Start. Press. Rack.
Boy, that moved fast.
Yeah, that was really nice and quick.
That moved really fast for a second lift.
175
Rezapov, 175. So this will add 10 kilos to his personal lift, his personal best. He's solidified his bench now. He's got one on, so now we can play a little bit.
Yep.
He's
153 kilos he weighs in at as an absolute monster of a man.
Yeah, he's an absolute giant, isn't he? Rezapov, the giant. He had 24 eggs for breakfast this morning whilst they were still in the chicken. And that was an appetizer.
Start. Press.
And boy, he is strong. That moved super fast.
It looks like he's going to eat 175 as well. That was really easy.
He's going to eat the waffles off that bar. And, you know, what I love about his bench is he's such a big guy, but he doesn't try and sink it into his chest. He
No.
gets that nice, light touch.
That's
Keeps
good.
everything tight.
Yeah, I think when you can partner that light touch and that tightness up with having some of the upper body size that these lads do, you know, it can really add up to a real strong bench.
Alexander Nadeshkin now 185. Just below his personal best. I mean, he's still walking out a little tender, but it's not affecting his bench. So it'd be interesting to see if it affects his deadlift.
Press. Rack.
Yeah, definitely not affecting the
It's
bench,
not
is
affecting
it?
bench at all.
And this is a good day.
You can see he's just a little tender in that hip and lower back.
Yeah.
Nicholas Ramirez University.
Yeah, walking off a little bit gingerly, but bench
Yeah.
seems to be moving
And
all right.
you know what? And the coaches did the right thing. They scratched his last squat and said, we'll see how you go on bench. Starcelis 205. That is a big, big bench.
I think that'll equal the biggest bench we've seen at this competition so far.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to the biggest bench we've seen.
I think it was David Colsey yesterday in the 105s. He had 205 and then went and missed 210, didn't he?
That's right, yeah.
So
Start. Press. Rack.
Well, he made short work of 205.
that was very strong.
Slowed him down a little bit on the right-hand side. Let's have a look at that.
Yep, should definitely be good for at least 207, maybe
Yeah.
210.
I mean, and he's in a very commanding position. You know, if he wants to take a play at 210
Yeah.
and go for a personal best, he's in a position where he can do that sort of risk-free. Jack Tosh, 150. This will be a 20-kilogram personal best for this young man.
Massive, absolutely massive. Especially on the bench press. And, you know, that'll be from Scottish Unis, which was end of March, start of
Yeah,
April.
So it's a lot of progress. I'll have to look back through the records and see if he was lifting in the 105, in the 120s then.
Yeah, it's possible he may have gone up.
Press.
Drives it back well and locks
he's
it out.
doing very, very well, and you can see he's really mastering that technique. You can see in the replay there, his bar path is very, very nice. Drives it back. Ticking off 167.5 for personal best.
It's an attempt for a new personal best.
And Starcelis has put in the 210, so he's going to have a crack at the 210. And you know what? I think it's in him. I think it'll be a grind, but I think it's in him.
I think he's got that.
Start. Press. Rack.
And Tikhonov hits the 167.5 for a personal best. 3 white lights.
Very solid.
172.5 kilograms to bar for Daniel Ordian from Luxembourg University of Sibiu, following O'Leary and Dumpley.
So Daniel Ordian now 172.5. This will be a 12.5 kilo personal best for him.
Bars loaded.
The super mobile, super heavyweight.
Yep. For a man, 142 kilos. Can definitely move.
And occasionally we get a bit of a interesting profile laid down. He's been competing for 36 years and he's 24. That's how much his family love powerlifting. And just couldn't quite get it there. He got it off his chest well, but it shifted back. You probably see in the replay. Gets it going off his chest very well, but just shifts back a little bit too far.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Kind of, you see the elbows flare out quite early, and it's quite hard to finish there when you haven't got those elbows underneath you.
Bars loaded.
Now Dan O'Leary for 175 and a very big personal best.
And a fight for a silver medal in bench
And
press.
fondly known by his friends as
Dongle O'Longle.
Born in a Submarine.
Born in a submarine. This will temporarily put Dan into silver on the bench.
Start. Press.
Needs to press that back and
And
finish
he
it.
starts to move it back, and
Good
you can
man.
see the bar speed pick up just as he starts to shift it back. So he owned that yellow submarine. Jack Dunkley, 177.5.
So I've gone back and spoken to Dan's coach, Abdul, and we're kind of lining the day up very much so with Jack Dunkley, because it's seeming like that's going to be who third place is contested against. So we've gone for the safe option there of 175. We knew he'd get that. And just to try and stretch that subtotal as much as we can.
And I think it's a smart move, that extra couple of kilos. I mean, you can stretch it to a couple of kilos more and increase the risk and reduce your probability.
Yeah.
But it's a big step back if you miss.
Press.
And he gets the 177.5. It should be a good lift. And it is. And we're going to have a nice little battle there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun come the deadlifts.
Well, Matisse ran 180.
This will give him bench silver.
And that is a very solid lift.
These gold goes for the silver medal and bench press.
I was talking to a couple of athletes from Singapore this morning. I was saying there are a lot of athletes that have competed here this week that are without a doubt future world champions.
Yeah, there's been some unbelievably strong people.
And 3 white lights for that one.
That gets him silver bench.
And here comes Resipov, the giant, 185. So he is silver in the bench. This won't change that. And this will equal Nadeshkin, but he is quite a bit heavier. And we're going to need a bigger bench. His wrist straps come undone there as well.
That's no idea.
doesn't
It
seem
hasn't
to bother him
affected
at
him
all.
at all.
His wrist straps might just see there because they look good. And he gets that one as well. You can see him, he's getting fired up. Alexander Nadeshkin now for a massive 195. This will add 5 kilos to his personal best. So clearly, whatever injury he is carrying, it clearly has not affected his bench at all.
Start. Press. Rack.
And handles that, no problems at all. So clearly, whatever injury he was carrying in the squat has not affected his bench at all.
No, benches look really solid.
So it'll be very interesting to see how his deadlift looks. But right now, Starcelis decided to take a crack at that 210 for a personal best. Could have played the safe card 207.5, but he is in a very, very commanding position. He already has 2 benches on the board. Doesn't need the extra few kilos for a winning total.
I think, you know, you're at a world champs, may as well go for that.
You know,
Go for that personal best.
Look, and it's a great opportunity to be in this position, to be able to say, you know what, coach, give me a crack at the 210. I'm not risking anything.
Yeah.
He's going to have to grind it, but I think he's got it. Well, it wasn't much of a grind at all,
easier
actually.
than 205, to be honest with you.
They came up cleaner and better. And he gets the 3 white lights. Oh, I have to say that is the most green I have ever seen on a bench press
One
board.
missed
Only
lift.
one missed lift throughout that whole session.
Wow.
All credit to these guys for really keeping their intensity levels and managing that, and they've needed to with this quick turnaround in this heat as well. So don't go too far away. 20 minutes time, the action really gets started as these big boys take to the deadlift platform. Welcome back to the final round of lifting for this competition, the IPF 2019 World University Powerlifting Cup here in Tartu, Estonia. And it has been an absolutely fantastic week of lifting. And of course, an absolutely fantastic week here in Estonia as well. An absolutely beautiful part of the world. And we are just about to get underway with the deadlifts. And of course, none of this possible without Eleiko, Uplift, SBD. Not just great sponsors, but absolutely great organization and great product as well. Alexandra Nadeshkin, 175. So watching this one very closely, looked like he was carrying a bit of an injury in his squat. Opened with 205, missed his second, scratched his third. Didn't affect his bench at all. Got a personal best at 195. So now we're watching on very closely. He's opening 175, which is 50 kilos below his personal best. And manages that well. And looks a little tender. Interesting to see where he goes from there. But he's got a total on the board now. Jack Tosh, 220. Just a couple of kilos shy of his personal best. So in the 120s. 19 years of age. And already moving around these massive numbers. And gets 3 white lights. I think in years to come, we're going to see him on the podium at the World Championships. And ticking off now, 230. Opening very conservatively. And certainly looks like there's no issues with that one. He puts that one on the board and locks away a total. Daniel Ordian now 230 kilograms. Well under his personal best. And moves that one super fast. Very, very good execution. Dan O'Leary, 265 to open. And a little bit untidy. He gets the white lights. Wasn't a very tidy lift though. Let's have a look at the replay there. Just a little bit of hesitation at the start. A little bit of hesitation in lockout. A little bit of first lift nerves on the deadlift there. So Jack Dunkley now, 265. And he is going to be wanting to chase down Dan O'Leary. That moved quite well. Look at the replay. And it moved fairly well for an opening lift. Matisse Haren, 267.5. So well under his personal best. Starceless for 290. And puts this one on the board and solidifies that total. So just 10 kilos shy of his personal best. And still looking very fresh. And moved well, got to the top well. He's really going to have to make sure he stabilises that lockout. He almost fumbled on lockout there. But he gets it on the board. That solidifies his total, and he is pretty much untouchable. Resipov the Giant, 310. Just under his personal best of 315. And it looks like he has got plenty of energy left in him. And it should be a good lift, and it is. There's no problems with that one at all. Alexandra Nadeshkin now going to 200. And taking the 25 kilo jump. The 175 was a very, very conservative opener, knowing that he's carrying some sort of an injury. Tested it out in the 175. Said to the coach that it feels pretty good. So we'll go for 200. And moves that one very smoothly. And he actually looks a bit better walking off after this one. He's got himself a total, and he'll go home with a bronze medal now. He's done his job. There's one left to go. Jack Tosh, 235 for a personal best. And has to work pretty hard to lock that one out. You can see at the start there, we might see on the replay, just as he pulled, he let the bar shift a little bit and had to pull it back in. But he squeezes it to the top well. And ticking off, looking for 240. This is just below his personal best. So he gets a good lift on 240. And Daniel Audion now, 245. So back into the 120 pluses. And he's solidified his total for a silver medal overall. And Nadeshkin has scratched his last lift. He's done what he has to do. He's got a total on the board. And makes that look very easy. Dan O'Leary. The man born on a submarine. He's not a story you hear every day. In fact, his family traveled here by submarine. A yellow one. 280. And he's chasing after an overall medal. And he gets the 280. There is not much room to move, though. 3 white lights. I wouldn't like to see them go much more than 282 and a half, 285 for the next one. Jack Dunkley now at 285. He's having to work very hard, but it should be a good lift. It is. That puts him in the silver medal position in the deadlift. Dan O'Leary in the bronze. Starsilis in the gold. Right now, Matisse Horan, 287 and a half. This will shift him into the silver medal. And he made that look very easy. He has just said to everyone, look at that, I've got lots more in the tank. Starsilis now for 305. This will be a 5 kilo personal best. And it'll put him on an 815 total. Almost 100 kilos ahead of his nearest competitor. And very smooth all the way. So 320 goes onto the bar for Resipov, the giant. So we'll add 5 kilos to his personal best. And he is well ahead of the rest of the 120 pluses. And in a great position now to have a bit of a play around with maybe a magic number he's been chasing for a while. That moved quicker than his opener. Looks like he's just starting to warm up. So Jack Tosh now for his third lift at 245. Big, big personal best. And this is the most fired up we've seen him. He's not mucking around with this one. He's still moving it up. I think he has got this. It took everything he had, but he gets it on the board. So we stay at 245 for ticking off. Just under his personal best of 250. Oh, that accelerated well. That was a beautiful looking sumo. Slow off the floor, then accelerates past the knees. You can see he really pulled it off the floor slowly, and then it just begins to accelerate. Absolutely spot on. Daniel Audion now, 252 and a half. He will take home the silver medal overall in the 120 pluses. And this will give him a total of 670. Oh, just couldn't quite bring those hips through there. He still takes home the silver medal overall. Finishes with a 662.5. Dan O'Leary, 282.5. I think that was a really smart attempt selection. There's not a whole lot of room after that 280. But this will temporarily move him up into the silver medal position overall. He's done everything he can do. He is going to have to dig very, very deep. He's going to have to find something deep inside to pull this one. And he just can't quite get it moving. Just couldn't quite get it there. So he has a 720 total. He's just going to have to sit and wait now. Jack Dunkley with 295. It's gone the extra 10 kilos from 285. A big, big call. But he needs the 295 if he wants to take the bronze medal. So Dan O'Leary has gone back to have a sit in his submarine and wait. It's closed all the windows. And he's going to have to watch and see if Jack Dunkley can pull 295. This is the 5 kilo personal best. If he wants that bronze medal, he's going to have to dig deep. And he's got it moving, but it just wouldn't move any further. So Dan O'Leary holds on. With a 720 total, holds on to that bronze medal position. The 295 just proving to be a little bit too much for Jack Dunkley. The Matisse Haren now 295. So he has the silver medal locked away overall. And he has the silver medal in the deadlift as well. Jack Dunkley will take the bronze medal in the deadlift. And the way the 287.5 moved, I think the 295 will move just as fast. And it does just that. It gives him a personal best total of 730 and a silver medal overall, and he's very happy with that. Staselis now 320. Already has the gold medal locked away in both counts. This one's the number he wants. It'll be a 20 kilo personal best. And just couldn't get it to shift. It's a bit of a laugh to himself and a bit of a laugh with his coach. So we go to 330 for the final lift of the competition. Resipov the Giant. Hit a personal best of 320 on his second. Now wants to add 15 kilos to his personal best with a 330. He locked away that gold medal early and is in the position to have a crack at something he wants. 330 kilograms. Resipov the Giant. He's got it moving well. He gets the down command. Did he lock? He did. He gets the 330 on the board, takes away the gold medal and an absolutely massive personal best. He is super happy with that. Don't go too far away. Of course, the medal ceremony coming up soon, very, very shortly. That is our last event here in Estonia for this week's the 2019 World University Powerlifting Cup. But there is lots more on the IPF circuit very soon as well. Of course, we'll be in Canada in August for the World Junior, Sub-Junior Equipped. We'll be in Dubai in November for the Open Equipped World Championships as well. And of course, there's the EPF circuit as well. So stay tuned for plenty more action coming from the IPF. Big thanks to Alico, Uplift, SPD. None of this possible without them. Big thanks to all the referees, all the volunteers that make these competitions fantastic. And of course, a big thank you to Estonia for having us here. It has been absolutely fantastic. They've thrown on great weather, great food, and pretty good beer as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be back very soon.
The medals will be given out by Mr. Gaston Barrage and by Mr. Pepel. Now we're going to award our medal winners in bodyweight category 120, best results, squat. Third place with a result of 255 kilograms from University of Maribor, Mati Kren. Second place with a result of 265 kilograms from University of Exeter, Dan O'Leary. And the first place with 300 kilograms from Mykolas Romeris University, Jokobas Stasiulis. Congratulations. Bench press. Third place with 177.5 kilograms from University of Nottingham, Jack Dunkley. Second place with 180 kilograms from University of Maribor, Mati Kren. And the first place with a result of 210 kilograms from Mykolas Romeris University, Jokobas Stasiulis. Congratulations. Next on to the deadlift. Third place with 285 kilograms from University of Nottingham, Jack Dunkley. Second place with 295 kilograms from University of Maribor, Mati Kren. And the first place with 305 kilograms from Mykolas Romeris University, Jokobas Stasiulis. Congratulations. Next on to the total of 120 kilogram bodyweight man. Third place with 720 kilograms from University of Exeter, Dan O'Leary. Second place with 730 kilograms from University of Maribor, Mati Kren. And the first place with 815 kilograms from Mykolas Romeris University, Jokobas Stasiulis. Ladies and gentlemen, Please stand up for the national anthem of Lithuania. Congratulations. Moving on next to our body weight, 120 plus kilogram. Third place in squat with 205 kilograms from Siberian State University of Science and Technology, Alexander Nadeshkin. Second place with 252.5 kilograms from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, Daniel Ordean. And the first place, 300 kilograms from Moldovan State Pedagogical Institute, Yegor Rezepov. Congratulations. Next up, bench press. Third place with 165 kilograms from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, Daniel Ordean. Second place with 185 kilograms from Moldovan State Pedagogical Institute, Yegor Rezepov. And the first place with 195 kilograms from Siberian State University of Science and Technology, Alexander Nadeshkin. Congratulations. Now on to the deadlift. Third place with a result of 200 kilograms from Siberian State University of Science and Technology, Alexander Nadeshkin. Second place with 245 kilograms from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, Daniel Ordean. And the first place with 330 kilograms from Moldovan State Pedagogical Institute, Yegor Rezepov. Congratulations. And And the total. Third place with 600 kilograms from Siberian State University of Science and Technology, Alexander Nadeshkin. Second place with 662.5 kilograms from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, Daniel Ordean. And the first place with 815 kilograms from Moldovan State Pedagogical Institute, Yegor Rezepov. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Russia. Congratulations.